Okay, so selection. Selection is very important to being able to model efficiently. There are many tools in Maya to help you with this. Okay, I'm going into the poly menus here, and I'm just going to tear off the tab for select here. And so you have your select object component, F8. You have select via type, vertex, edge, face, UVs, and face vertex, never have found a use for it. And you'll find all those with your right mouse button as you go over things. Okay, one of the handiest things I have found in the latest versions of Maya is if I select via edge and I double click, it goes all the way around the object. Okay, select contiguous edges. Okay, which is this guy. I used to have to make a shelf button for it, but now it's just a double click and it will run, the pretty much the length until it can't figure out where to go. So, maybe I'd find that useful and I'd just go and deselect these guys because I've gotten most of, what I wanted selected there. Yeah, so a lot of the thing in selecting is maybe selecting more than you need quickly and then deselecting a few things is the faster way of working. Okay, so now if I double click on, let's say, this guy, so I've gone all the way around, I'm going to double click, oops, hold down shift and double click, and so now I have two rings going around this guy, and I will do the grow selected region. So that's the greater than sign, and you have shrink with the less than sign. So that's also another handy thing to know about, is so maybe you can quickly select something that's much bigger than you need, and then hit that less than, once, twice, three times, and get the selection that you really want much quicker. Okay, so I'm just going to grow that. And what that's done is it's filled in these guys. And I can go to this select contained faces. So now it's selected all these contained faces because each one of those guys was surrounded. All right, and then, then I can start modeling. I can use my extrude tool to extrude out, that selection there, depending on what I'd want to use it for. Okay, undoing that. So, you really want to be familiar with these options here and then mix and match them in a series of steps to speed up your workflow to get things selected. So maybe it's very easy to select a ring, a set of edges, and then convert your selection to the UVs and get your UV selected that way. Or pop to the side view quickly and from the side view select the faces like so. I'll pop over here to the front. So now I got that selection for the faces, and I grow twice, and now I have that region selected, and maybe I'd extract that. So I'll just go to come on, mesh, extract, and now I've extracted that door. Okay, and so there's lots of great features here. Now let's see, if I select selection boundary, if I click on that, nope, oh, that's the selection boundary. Okay, yeah, so if I select these guys and do selection boundary, it's grabbed the outer guys there only. So the middle ones, it's deselected. I was thinking the other sort of boundary. So let's see, convert selection to boundary edge. Maybe that was it. Anyhow, I don't use that one. I've shown you the ones I use frequently. So yeah, so the edges of a piece of geometry, okay, like here, all right, that if I select the border edge with maybe some difficulty, no, okay, it will go around and it's now selected that the entire little window there by double clicking with the select border edge tool. Then I could do an extrude if I wanted, or build something on it. So the border edges are dark, and so you can spot them that way, but it's really just the border seams. And that can be handy when you're sewing half a character together, is select that edge, flatten it out, make sure it's perfectly planar. Okay, so that's that out in this interface. Okay, but there's, play around with it, get yourself familiar with it. The other thing I want to suggest, I've got a couple more suggestions on this topic for you. If my computer decides to behave, there we go. And Windows, rendering editors, Hypershade. Okay. All right. So one of the handy things is you can select, by going over the material here, I can do select objects with material, and here I have all of my pieces of glass that I split out. Okay, so that's another way you can get something selected. So I could then convert that selection to UVs. I could assign a different shader onto it. So assign material to selection. Now I have this blue shader on all of those. I can put the clear back onto it if I want. Let's see. There we go. So you can work incredibly fast. Other options that you have is you have a lasso tool like in Photoshop, and so that's very powerful. So I don't use this too much, but yeah, so I could lasso and grab some things. It's probably more helpful, over here. I could go like that. So I find working the orthographics when I'm doing selection is very handy, just because I can get a really good, accurate selection around an object this way, or cut off the back of an object. Okay, now another thing to be aware of, let's heading back, okay, the is having backface culling turned to on. Okay, so I have a shelf button for this. Let me show you where it lives, because you won't have that button. But if I go to, let's see, display, polygons, right at the top I have backface culling. And it turns off the back sides of things. Now on a shape like this, I'm still going to have to worry that I'm going to get a few guys turned on, selected on the back side. But for a lot of things, that can make it a very fast way of working, where you're not getting stuff on the backside so much. Okay, so let's turn that back on. Okay, so I've made a shelf button for that because I use that frequently. And of course you have your paint selection tool. So I'm set to vertices, and I can then let's see, hold down B on the keyboard to change the size of my brush, and yeah, I can just go through and I can make my selections via painting. So maybe that works for you. And you can hold down U on the keyboard to change between change between unselect and toggle, select, and let's see, camera-based selection, asset-centric, soft select. Okay, so there's lots of other little things in there for you to play with. So you're going to find the things that you like the best to work, what makes sense to you. And, some things you'll do for like a year or two and then shift. So, but those are some of the basic selection tools, and really you'll be a lot happier with Maya. With every task that you do, you go, gee, can I do this a little bit more efficiently? How can I get my best selection? Is it going to be faster if I do it in an orthographic view? Is it going to be faster if I do a big selection and then deselect? What do I need selected? Can I select it as faces quicker than as verts? So, hope that helps. Have fun.